What's going on, guys? Krusty Case here from the Gold Boys Network, coming with the MLB slate preview for June 18th. Before we hop into this, I want to remind everybody you can find all of these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. But let's not waste any time. We got a pretty big slate. So the first one is the St. Louis Cardinals taking on Miami Marlins. Lance Lynn versus Rodri Munoz. Munoz coming off an absolute gem of a start. I believe he took a no-hitter into the 6th or 7th inning against the Mets. Looked really good. Ended up not getting the win because their bullpen blew it, but he pitched outstanding. I mean, you get a Cardinals team here who's swinging the bats pretty well as of late. So I mean, definitely a concern there for Munoz. But the stuff looked good, and I mean, I kind of want to back him here. I don't like Lance Lynn, so that's definitely part of that factor. So for me here, I like the Marlins team total. I really think that they can put up some runs against Lynn, and I think they do win the game, but I just feel more comfortable taking the Marlins team total here. The next one is the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nick Lodolo versus Bailey Falter. So I saw the price for this one, minus 135 for the Reds, and I mean, I was a little confused, truthfully, because Lodolo is a guy who I put in like a tier of, like, I don't want to say elite, but he's definitely, above average, definitely one of the better starters in all of baseball. And this Pirates team against lefties has been absolutely terrible. K percent through the roof, really not hitting lefties at all. So I love the Reds here at minus 135. I think it's a great price. I mean, obviously the Reds bats, I mean, they've gotten better as of late. Still a bit inconsistent, but I really just like Lodolo to pitch well here. Really think that's what this comes down to. So give me the Reds. I think they get this one done. Like I said, short favorite here on the road, and that's more than fine with me. Our next one is the San Diego Padres taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. Michael King versus Aaron Nola. So, I mean, I love backing the Phillies, especially at home. Just an outstanding team. But minus 65 with Aaron Nola is not a price I can get behind personally. So from like just a pure value standpoint, I like the Padres on the money line. I mean, obviously Michael King, he's been a bit of a mixed bag this season. Had some really good starts, some really bad starts. One thing that is for sure, though, is the changeup is outstanding. And when he's locating it, it's borderline unhittable. So, I mean, this Phillies team, if you look at the metrics, they're super aggressive outside the zone. One of the highest swing rates, expanding the strike zone. So I think King can pitch pretty well here. I think he has the mix and the stuff to really take advantage of that aggressiveness. So I like them to get the win. Give me the Padres on the money line here. The next one is the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Guardians. This is Tristan McKenzie versus Bryce Miller. So for me in this one, I'm not a big McKenzie believer. I like Bryce Miller a lot. And I'm going to roll with the Mariners here on the money line on the road, simply because I just don't trust McKenzie against this lineup. The Seattle team's been super inconsistent this season. We've seen it a ton. Obviously, the strikeouts are always going to be there. So, I mean, McKenzie Ks, I don't see how you don't take them because obviously they're going to be there. But this lineup's just loaded with pop. And against a guy who basically throws two pitches, fastball, curveball, and the fastball is really below average, I just think he's in for a rough outing here. Bryce Miller, he's going to face the Guardians, who I believe are still without J-Ram. And, I mean, that's just a big bat to be missing. That's a guy, obviously, right in the heart of their order. So, I like Seattle to get the win here. Our next one, the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Washington Nationals. Slade Sony versus Jake Urban. I got to go with the Nationals here. Jake Urban has impressed me this season. He's looked really good. Put together some pretty good outings against the Braves, I believe, 2 times. I mean, this guy, he's just been good. He's been really good this season. So I get a Diamondbacks team who right now, right around league average against righties. Definitely nothing to write home about. And Slade Sony is a guy who, in my opinion, is going to get absolutely tagged. This Nationals team, while they're not crushing, they do have guys who can crush and can mash the baseball. And so Slade Sony is just a guy who I always envision a lot of hard hits, a lot of hard contact. And, I mean, when that's happening, especially with the way the weather's warming up, you're going to see some damage. Our next one, the Baltimore Orioles taking on the New York Yankees. This is Albert Suarez versus Nestor Cortez. So Yankees at home, obviously you want to back Nestor. He's at home. Scary matchup here, though, because Baltimore is absolutely crushing lefties. But I'm going to go with the Yankees. I think they outlast the Baltimore here. It's going to be probably a high-scoring game, in my opinion. I think both these pitchers probably get touched up a bit. But give me the Yankees to outlast them here. I think the Yankees get this one done. I think both these pitchers likely get chased pretty early. Could see quite a few runs, like I said, in the first 5 for sure. Full game, I wouldn't be surprised this thing soars over. But I like the Yankees to get the win. Next one, the Boston Red Sox taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Tanner Houck versus Chris Bassett. So, I mean, Chris Bassett, as we know, a million pitches in his arsenal. It's a tough matchup here because Boston's crushing righties. Tanner Houck's been really good for this Boston team, probably their best starter overall. I like Boston here on the money line. I think it's a tight game, but they're just crushing righties right now, and I can't ignore that. They lead the league in batting average, WRC+, just absolutely crushing right-handed pitching. And, I mean, like I said, Huck's been really good, been outstanding, probably one of the best starters in all of baseball, to be completely honest with you. So I like Boston as a short favorite here. I think they get this one done. Our next one, Our next one, Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Minnesota Twins, Aaron Savali versus Pablo Lopez. So I'm on the Twins here. I like them on the money line. It's minus 150. If you're not comfortable laying that, put it in a parlay. But I don't love Pablo Lopez. He's really struggled this season. Just been really bad, honestly, if we're going to just be completely honest. He pitched against the Rockies in what was a great bounce back spot, and again, gave up a lot of hard contact, struggled to put hitters away, which he's pretty much struggled with for much of the season. And it definitely could continue here against Tampa. I'm not saying it won't, but I don't like this Tampa team away from the Trop. They're just not a team I like to back. So I think the Twins get the win here. I think Savali likely gets touched up quite a bit. This is a Twins team that's really familiar with him because he pitched in the AL Central. So I like the Twins here, pick up the win. Our next one, the Detroit Tigers taking on the Atlanta Braves. This is Casey Mize versus Spencer Schwellenbach. Braves minus 175 on the money line, which is a crazy price to me with Schwellenbach on the bump. But, Casey Mize, I think he gets absolutely tagged. I like the Braves team total. Braves are at home. Bats have woke up a bit. Still not as consistent as I would like, but I really like him in this spot. This is just a good spot here. Mize gives up a lot of hard contact. He's likely going to get shelled. Turkeys will be tossed, is how I like to put it. But Braves team total here, I think they put up 5-6 runs pretty easy.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Next one, the New York Mets take on Texas Rangers. Luis Severino versus Michael Lorenzen. I'm going to go with the Mets on the road, surprisingly enough. Michael Lorenzen is a guy who can give up a lot of contact. We all know that. A lot of hits. And Severino, he gets a Texas team who still isn't hitting. He's a ground ball merchant. We all see it, elite ground ball rate. And against a Texas team that's really aggressive at the plate, seeing a very low amount of pitches per plate appearance, I absolutely believe he's going to go deep into this one. A lot of ground balls, a lot of weak contact. It's what he lives on, and this team literally caters to that. So I think Severino goes deep. I think the Mets get the win. And, it could be low scoring because I don't really love the Mets offense either, but I like Severino to pitch better than Michael Lorenzen here. Our next one is the San Francisco Giants taking on the Chicago Cubs. Logan Webb versus Justin Steele. I'm on the Cubs money line. Love Justin Steele at home. Love lefties against this Giants team, especially when they're on the road. They really struggle. And, Justin Steele, the K stuff's not always going to be there, but I think his strikeouts are definitely in play. This is a guy who, if he gets you 2 strikes, he's going to give you that slider, and it's a very hard pitch for these guys to lay off of. It's been pretty good this season. I know he let a lot of people down against Tampa, but this Giants team against lefties, it's almost like putting a bunch of guys that are blindfolded at this point. So I like Justin Steele to pitch really well here. Like them to get the win. If you're going to fade Logan Webb, as we talked about, you do it on the road, and that's what we're doing here. Cubs on the money line, minus 110. It's a pick 'em, but in my opinion, I give a slight edge to Steele being at home because, like I said, Logan Webb on the road, just a different guy. Our next one, the Houston Astros taking on the Chicago White Sox. Framber Valdez versus Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Cannon coming off an absolute legacy start for him. 7 innings, looked absolutely incredible against the Mariners. Gets another tough matchup here with Houston. Really tough to know what to expect with him. The stuff is there, but he's a bit raw. When you watch him pitch, You can see the movement on all the pitches. You can see the stuff. You know, it's definitely there. But the command just hasn't been there overall. He looked really good against Seattle. I'm not going to deny that. But, I mean, now you got to – is he going to do it again? Probably not. So, I mean, here you have Houston at minus 215 on the money line. Crazy juice, obviously. But in a parlay, I think Houston on the money line is a great play. Great parlay piece. I think they get this win. I don't have a lot of interest in the run line with them. Just not a team I'm comfortable backing on the run line. And I don't love Framber, period. But I think they get the win here. Our next one, the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Colorado Rockies. Walker Buehler versus Austin Gomber. For me in this one, it's really simple. I like runs. Walker Buehler has not looked like the Walker Buehler we saw years ago. Obviously, we all know that. Hasn't pitched in a long time. But I think he gets tagged here. So, tough place to pitch at Coors, obviously. Rockies not really crushing righties, but they are hitting better, making more contact. Definitely not striking out as much as they were. And, I mean, they handle the fastball, not the greatest in the world. But Buehler's fastball hasn't had the life that we're used to seeing. And I think a lot of that has to do with just being out of the game for so long. So, let's see him get something done here. I think he gets tagged quite a bit. I mean, the total for this game's at 11.5, rightfully so. Like I said, the Dodgers, they're going to tag up Gomber. We all know that. But I think the Rockies are giving it right back to Walker Buehler here. He's just not a guy, if you've watched him pitch, I mean, he looks the same. The stuff don't look the same. And I mean, maybe that comes over time, but it ain't here right now. So I think we fade him, we fade Gomber, and we just, watch hopefully a whole bunch of fireworks go off on this one. Our next one, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on Los Angeles Angels. This is Tobias Myers versus Jose Soriano. So they pushed Jose Soriano back. I'm not sure that he's actually going to pitch, though. I saw something that said he might miss this one as well. So we'll have that penciled in there tentatively, but definitely not sold on that right now. It's tough to really pick something here, not knowing, because he's obviously a big swing for them, depending on who they put out there. I'm going to tentatively say that I would take the Brewers, but I have to see who the pitcher's going to be. If it's not Soriano, then I'm definitely on the Brewers. If it is Soriano, I still like the Brewers. I just think that they're the better team, but definitely not running to the counter to bet it. So for me in this one, like I said, give me the Brewers. Tobias Myers has been pretty good. You get an Angels team who got Brandon Drury back, but it's not really saying much because he's just been quite the strikeout target, truly, more than anything else. So give me the Brewers.
Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets.
The last one, the Kansas City Royals taking on the Oakland Athletics. This is Alec Marsh versus Hogan Harris. Give me the Royals on the money line on the road. Alec Marsh coming off an absolute masterclass over the Yankees. Looked absolutely incredible. Gets an Oakland team who obviously is nowhere near the level of the Yankees. Think he stays locked in here. It's a good matchup for him. Good matchup for him to pitch well once again. Hogan Harris, a lefty. I mean, as we know, the Royals not as good against lefties, but this is a guy they can get to. Fastball, curveball, basically two-pitch mix, and I think he gets absolutely tattooed here. Royals minus 135 on the money line. It's a great price, and I am 100% in on the Royals here. That does conclude the slate, though. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are playing. Before I hop off, I forgot to give my 3 best bets yesterday. That's on me, but I got you this time. So my 3 best bets for this slate, I am going to roll with the Mets on the money line. That's my number 1. Absolutely love it. The Cincinnati Reds on the money line. Absolutely love Lodolo in this spot. And last but certainly not least, the Chicago Cubs on the money line. Back in Justin Steele at home to spin an absolute gem against the Poverty Giants. As always, you can get all of my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, tell one here, gambler. Thank you guys.